Local human rights activists discussed in Geneva the Houthi violations committed against Yemenis. The discussion focused on the violation against different social factions, especially women and children. This report has more.
Yemeni human rights activists exposed in Geneva the abuses committed by the Houthi militias against all facets of society, including children, and charged the group with enlisting 238 young people, despite recent UN resolutions prohibiting such actions. According to Yemeni official media, a team for the UN Office for the High Commissioner for Human Rights and the Human Association for Rights and Freedoms discussed the conditions of children in Yemen in light of violations committed by the Houthis and their failure to commit to agreements signed with UNICEF on protecting children during armed conflict. The Yemeni team stated during a meeting organized on the 53rd session of the Human Rights Council at the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in Geneva that civil society organizations had watched and documented the instance of 238 freshly recruited minors. The Yemeni human rights team highlighted the Houthi militia's abuses, including the placing of mines disguised as unrecognizable devices, noting that the majority of victims were young children. The team also briefed the official in charge of the Yemeni file at the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights on the violations committed by Houthis, such as the arrests of human rights activists and civilians, as well as the torture they face in Houthi prisons, which have left some of them permanently disabled. Millions of children in Yemen have experienced a live alerting battle for almost 10 years, and children remained the victims of this war. More than 11,000 children were killed, and hundreds of thousands of people have died, directly from fighting as well as indirectly, and millions have been displaced, according to the UN reports. The recruitment of children as soldiers in Yemen could be one of the worst situations in the country. Since the start of the Yemeni conflict in 2014, child recruiting has become particularly common among conflict groups. The majority of Yemen's children soldiers come from impoverished communities and families. Children being recruited for military service in Yemen is a serious issue for both peace and fundamental human rights.